Thank you very much for joining us. Our alternate nominee and Prime Minister nominee, Sepire Patas, our good governor for East Pacific Province, the Honorable Alan Bird, opposition leader, of course member for Middle Fly, Honorable Master Sepu Gatema, our senior member for Iri Koyari, the Honorable Keith Yadu, and of course Deputy Opposition Leader. Thank you, media, for joining us here today. I thought that I will make a few remarks about the state of our country and what we are facing today in terms of the challenges as a country and how our government is performing today and why we are now putting forward a motion of no confidence in order to hold our current government to account for its decisions, its actions, and of course its non-performance. Today we are at the 6th year of the Marape government. That came with a big promise of delivering a country that is prosperous, a country that is going to be rich, and of course wealthy beyond imagination. This is a government that has enjoyed record prices in terms of the global prices for commodities like coffee, cocoa, gold, copper, oil and gas. As a result of those huge price gains that the government has enjoyed, they have increased their revenue in a country to a record number of government revenue over those years. In fact, record budgets were introduced as a result of that. You know now that for the first time our country is now presenting budgets well beyond almost 27 billion kina in each year. So that is a clear indication of the ability of government that is collecting good revenue as a result of very good global commodity prices. But many know that that is not a true reflection of where our country is. All social indicators today shows that our country is not performing well, not only in the region but globally. We have a very declining education standards. Our health services are almost non-existent. It is a poor delivery service to many of our communities and of course towns and cities throughout the country. There is a complete breakdown on law and order in many parts of our country, and that is evident by the number of criminal activities and crimes that are committed that has been reported daily on the media and social media. There is a huge increase in population. At some estimates, it is about 4% in global terms of an increase in population in our country. As a result, we have a huge youth population and huge unemployment. All that goes down to is that there is no income for all these people that we have now, this population that we have in the country. These are indicators showing that the government, despite the good fortunes that they have enjoyed, is not performing and it is not delivering to the expectations of our people. Now, it's not only social indicators, it's also economic indicators. You have record budgets been presented, and of course increased expenditure as a result of the record budgets, but we're still running a deficit budget, in fact quite a large deficit budget, averaging about 4 to 5% every year. Now that has not delivered again to the expectations of our people on the particularly the basic services that is a basic human right requirement for our citizens. So we have a government that is overspending, sometimes overspending outside of budget, and as a result many departments and many provinces and many districts are not getting the money that they reflected in the budget, and as a result declining of services in those provinces and communities continue to go. Other legacy of this 6 years Marape government is that we are now going to have a record record in terms of the huge loans that are outstanding, close to 70 billion kina. First 44 years of our nationhood, almost first 44 years of our nationhood, the total debt was around 30 billion kina. Now it's close to 70 in the last 6 years. Now, if any thinking person who is either involved in business or has some economic or accounting experience, if you are not alarmed by that, something is seriously wrong. So we are leaving a huge debt for the future generation for this country, for future generation to repay on our behalf. We have now declining infrastructure in the country. Despite huge investments in Connect PNG, you will find that most of the infrastructure are starting to break down because of lack of maintenance and proper investment. These are economic infrastructures in the country. All you have to do is drive around in many parts of the country and see the declining roads in the cities, towns, and communities right across the country. There's been no new foreign direct investment in the country. When you have almost zero foreign direct investment in the country in the 6 years, not many countries in the world go through that, except we are experiencing that. When you have no new foreign direct investment, that means that you have no growth in the private sector and there's no opportunity for employment. And this has now, of course, led to low business confidence in the country. When there's low business confidence, you now have businesses now shutting down. And recently we've seen Fletcher Marape, a company that has been here for 70 years, shut down. When businesses shut down, that means people are laid off. They've got no jobs, no income for their families. We live in Papua New Guinea, so we know the pressure of a one-talk system. A whole lot of us have that problem. No single Papua New Guinean is exempted from it. So the pressure that these people who are now going to join the unemployment line will face, and their kids and their families. So this is an ongoing saga. So as a result of that, you see, the nation is calling for Pangu-led government to do something. It is not only leaders of opposition who think that we are desperate to get into government. No, it is the nation that is calling. Our ordinary citizens, our students, our business leaders, business community. They are asking for Marape to resign because he cannot say that I need 6 more years to do this. 6 more years of incompetence, poor decisions, poor judgments, no vision, no plan. This is not what the country is expecting. Country is continuing to have its people live day to day. This is not by trial and looking tasol kind of approach and management you have to take into the country. We have to make sure that decisions that any leader or any government makes is going to go into the best interest of our people and our country. In 2019, I thought as Prime Minister, I was doing the right things for the country. That I was putting the country in the right direction for betterment of all citizens. But of course, we've had keyboard warriors, and we've got leaders and politicians in my own government, and all walks of life, our people, all demanded that they needed a change. They needed a change. And of course, it's not easy for any leader to make that call. And I understand what Marape is going through. A leader that is thinking that he's doing the right thing, but the citizens are asking you to resign and make changes to your government. So, when he claims that, Pangu has won 32 seats and we have the right to rule, the right to rule has been given and mandated to you by the people. So in 2017 elections, it wasn't a perfect election, but, the cheating and stealing and fraud and interference like 2022 wasn't happening in 2017. And PNC won 29 seats. So in 2019, I didn't say that, PNC may bless him 29 seats, so I must hang on to power. No. That power doesn't belong to one person or one party. It's a power and a mandate given to you by the people. So of course, I had to make some tough decisions. And I consulted members in my own party. I consulted former Prime Minister Somare and Sir Julius Chen about how these things were happening. And of course I resigned, hearing the calls of the people. I could have done everything possible to try and hang on to power, but if I did not hear the call of the people, and the call was drowning my ability to manage the country. Because you are managing this noise and you forget about managing the country. So one has to go, one has to give in. So you can understand that, you understand why people don't want to give up power. They think that when they give up power, they forget that they lose influence, they cannot control things, and they think that, there will be repercussions. Of course, as many of you know, I've gone through a bit of a tough time over the last 6 years. I've gone through the courts, I've been accused of corruption and everything else, but I went through the courts and have been cleared and vindicated. So nothing is wrong with that. The process and the systems of government is there. Any leader who feels that they're doing the right thing for the country should not fear the test of the judiciary or test of the law and order or a test of scrutiny. So I think it's important that, Prime Minister must know that, this is a position, a privileged position given to you by leaders on behalf of the people. And, everybody loves that role. They want to be given a chance to do that. And today we are in this process of a vote of no confidence to hold him accountable. Say, our people are yelling and screaming at every section of the community right throughout the country. It is not one person making this call. It is not opposition leaders who are making this call. We are making this call as leaders that have been properly mandated by people to try and make sure that we have a right government and listening to the people and of course the community that we represent. It is clear that time has come. Time has come. Pangu cannot claim that it's an institution that represents the people. We appreciate and acknowledge the fact that they are the party that brought us independence. They are part of the history of this country. They have a legacy that they have. But Pangu cannot hold on to its power because they have a legacy or they are an institution. They must know that that legacy or institution of power is given by the people. And the very people that gave you that are asking you to make some changes. So members of the Pangu party need to stand up. Stand up to Marape and the leadership and of course all the executives that, listen, our people are saying this, we must hear their call. So I think it is important that the Prime Minister sits back and reflect and assess what is going on in the country. And Pangu party as a political party that has got historical significance to our nationhood. As to say, enough now. These positions will change over time. The noise will get louder as we go along. Doesn't matter how many institutions you compromise and control, the noise is going to get louder. Because it is the people who are making that noise. Either through the leaders, through the students, or through NGOs, but the noise will get louder. So the winds of change is upon us, and I'm calling on the Prime Minister to listen to the people and act today. Who have got vested interests, who are sitting alongside and listen, you are doing the right thing, so keep going. Either they are blind or they are deliberately leading you off towards the cliff to jump off. But the country is saying, thank you very much for your service, but you've done enough, time to move on. So he needs to reflect on this, making sure that this vote of no confidence goes smoothly. The leaders need to make it. This is an opportunity that Grand Chief is making it available to the nation. He doesn't have to do it. He's got a job. He knows the people of Venga love him, and probably many more, but people of Venga especially. So he's done his part for our nation. He's making himself available. So the leaders need to listen to this. They wanted this call. The leaders in opposition have had the call. We're supporting St. Peter to advance us through this work that we are doing. And I think it's time that our leaders in Parliament listen to the call of the people. Those are the few comments that I wanted to make. All our fathers are dying and are dead and gone. There are only very few of us left. So I take it that it is my responsibility to come out here and explain to the nation why this change needs to happen. So that's why here today. So I'll ask the leaders if they want to say a few words.
The minister said that we must change.
Yeah. And what we are saying is Pangu party itself, we're happy for them to make a change internally. There are many good leaders in there, but they must stand up and make a stand for the country. And that's what I am stressing. Thank you. And please, we'll ask her.
PNC made a change with them.
Yeah. Similar like we did, you remember that Marape was PNC before, huh? Only yesterday he started flying Pangu colors. Huh? So the real fathers of Pangu need to stand up.
That's it.
Governor Nerd, please.